Well, good afternoon. Mark Milam here, your mortgage professional with this week's interest rate summary and market update. Today is May the 8th. Let's get into the interest rate portion and then we'll talk about the market update. So interest rates really pretty good as we close out the week. The first part of the week, we started to see rates tick up just a little bit, just incrementally. But here as we've closed out Thursday and Friday, rates have moderated a bit. We've seen some improvement and we're finishing out the week with 30-year numbers in the low threes, 15-year numbers down in the mid twos. Fantastic territory for your Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac conforming conventional loans. Government financing down in the twos, really fantastic stuff there. And as we've reported over the past 3, 4, 5 weeks, boy, the jumbo offerings not as good. Liquidity in that market is being squeezed by the CARES Act is obviously putting the squeeze on those investors, not really wanting to dip their feet into the water and be subject to loans going into forbearance. Obviously, the higher the loan amount, the bigger the stakes, and so jumbo investors are leery there. So product offerings are less robust, and obviously interest rates are higher for the jumbo arena. But if it's conforming conventional or government, man, you're in fantastic shape, and as you have been for the past couple of months. Let's talk about what's happening in the marketplace, because a slew of negative economic data has come in, and we kind of knew this was coming. Let's start with the forbearances. Black Knight has just indicated that there are 4.1 million loans in forbearance. Servicers now advancing over $5 billion in principal and interest payments, and servicers are on the hook for the first 4 months that these loans are in forbearance. So that's just a massive number for servicers to absorb. Unemployment rate out today at 14.7%. Whew, that's a tough number to say. Against a 14% estimate, 20.5 million jobs were lost in the month of April. So we knew this bad news was coming, and sure enough, it's here. Fannie Mae's home purchase sentiment index survey dropped 17.8 points, down to the lowest level since November of 2011. Let's take a quick look as respondents listed the primary reason that they think it's a bad time to sell. And obviously over 50% of respondents point to one thing: unfavorable economic conditions, right? Not difficulty in qualifying, not home prices, not too many homes available. This is all about the current economic climate. And anytime you've got that many respondents talking about the economic climate, it's going to have an impact on that survey. It's going to have an impact on home purchase activity. So there's one outlier in all of this. So we're talking about this terrible numbers for unemployment. We're talking about the number of loans in forbearance, the Fannie Mae's purchase sentiment survey. But as I'm speaking, the stock market is up 400 points. So why would the stock market be up 400 points in the face of all of this fresh negative data? And it makes me think about when I was a kid and I knew I'd done something wrong, and whether it was the switch or the whip or whatever was coming for me and I was in for a whooping, the waiting was really the worst part, right? The waiting for the stick or the switch or the whip, that was the worst part. It wasn't the actual punishment itself. And that's a little bit of what we're seeing with the stock market. Stock markets hate uncertainty. They hate the knowing that bad data is coming, but not knowing exactly how bad that it is. So there's something reassuring and comforting about getting our heads around solid, hard numbers, understanding, hey, this is what we knew was coming. Now we see it, we feel it, we understand exactly what it is. We can measure it. Most importantly, we can measure it. And then this last part, we can start to envision a time in which it will get better. Just this week, I was on a conference call where we were talking about steps that we might take as an organization to start reopening our offices. Not that they're just safe for customers that might come in, but also safe for employees. So not doing it yet, but certainly start to envision a time when we will be able to do it. And that's kind of what the stock market is doing. They're envisioning a time where things are going to start to improve, however incrementally, and that hopefully this will be the bottom or close to it. All right. If you have any questions this weekend, please don't hesitate to reach out. 404-395-1102. Thanks.